cost the taxpayers more money. It was behind. Anyways, we watched this hearing and it was behind closed doors, if you will. And then came these orders from the judge about Dateline. So let's go ahead and get right into it, because then we're going to get into Papa Rogers, all his messages. All right, so the first one is, the order is called Document and Records Hold Order. Based on the sensitive information not previously publicly circulated that was reported during a recent Dateline TV program related to this case and the defendant Bryan Kohberger, it appears likely that someone currently or formerly associated with law enforcement or the prosecution team violated this court's non-dissemination order. Such violations not only undermine the rule of law, potentially by persons charged with upholding it, but also significantly impede the ability to seat an impartial jury and will likely substantially increase the cost to be borne by the taxpayers of Latah County to prosecute this case by extending the time it will take to seat a jury and potentially requiring a lengthy period of jury sequestration. Oh my God, I can't even say that. Sequestration. That is a hard word to say. So in other words, it's going to cost the taxpayers more money, and more money, he says. So accordingly, the court finds it is imperative to attempt to see that the source of such leak is identified and held to account. He ain't playing. Hold on, it's me, Mike. We're going to get to that. There's two orders. What if Bryan leaked it himself? Sequestration. What if Bryan leaked it? Could he do that? And that doing so is the best deterrent for future violations. Accordingly, the court finds it appropriate to exercise its discretion by entering this order. It is hereby ordered that all persons who at any time, past or present, work directly or indirectly by employment, contract, consultation, or otherwise for or on behalf of any law enforcement or prosecution agency engaged in the investigation or prosecution of the murders that are subject of the instant case are hereby prohibited from deleting, discarding, overwriting, destroying, altering, or otherwise making unavailable, whether electronic or in material form, records, files, documents, metadata, messages, emails, text messages, direct or private messages, phone logs, or logs of communications, regardless of whether made or kept on a work-owned or personal account, device, or messaging app that in any way relate to or document the fact or substance of communications with third persons, including representatives of the media or other persons or entities outside of law enforcement, which communications in any way relate to, refer to, or concern the investigation of Bryan Kohberger. The facts or allegations uncovered or reported to law enforcement concerning Bryan Kohberger or the investigation into the homicides that are the subject of the current or then potential criminal prosecution of Bryan Kohberger. All such documents or materials or records that could potentially constitute a document, even if it is uncertain whether such meet that criteria, shall be preserved and must be protected from deletion, altercation, or loss until further order of the court. Any feature on any device or account that is set to automatically delete or overwrite information that could be covered by this order and must immediately be disabled. It is further ordered that within, and he crossed out 14 days. He said, no, we're going to do this in 7. Within 7 days, the state shall submit to the court in camera, which means in the courtroom with the judge, a list of all individuals within law enforcement and prosecuting agencies, past or present, who are known to have had access to any facts related to the investigation of the defendant, including, but not limited to, surveillance videos of suspect vehicle 1, the AT&T records for the defendant's cell phone, and the content of the defendant's cell phone and other electronic devices and social media accounts, including internet search history, photographs, and information associated with the defendant's Amazon account, or any information referenced in the above-mentioned Dateline episode regarding this case. The state is further required to provide a copy of this order to all such individuals and document that it has done so. Failure to comply with this order may be a basis for a finding of contempt of court and such other civil and criminal consequences as may be appropriate. Within 7 days, the state must also provide to the court a written plan designed to address and prevent the future unauthorized disclosure of information related to this case and what it has done or proposes to do to identify any violations of the court's non-dissemination orders previously entered in this case and those responsible for such violations. So this was served upon all of the people on the prosecution team and the defense team. Then if we go back, there's the same thing. Order, document, and records hold order for the defense. So basically, the prosecution and the defense both got a copy of this. And it words for the defense here. So he's not saying it was the prosecution. But they both got a notice. So it could have come from either side. Now let me go to chat and see what you guys think. Do you think someone was paid? Blue says someone's in trouble. Yeah, big time. Does Dateline have to give up their source? That's a good question. Couldn't they figure out, Danielle, like, ask Dateline? That's a good point, Mike. The show was known about for days before it aired. Strange it wasn't stopped. Right. They put those trailers out. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, like, if we find out anything more about this. So let's go to Dateline, because I checked this morning and Dateline still had the episode up, because I thought if there's a legal issue, they might do like a legal takedown to Dateline. So let's go to Dateline NBC and see if it's still there. Yeah, it's still here. See?